Seth Cantor, Jaden Daly here with you from West Long Branch, New Jersey. The Terriers fall tonight 79-73, but Jaden, all not lost regardless of what happens on Saturday against Fairleigh Dickinson. The Terriers have a home game in the first round of the Northeast Conference Tournament.
Right, they can still finish third depending on what Robert Morris does against Quinnipiac. St. Francis would still have to take care of business against Fairleigh Dickinson, but at the very worst, they're the number 4 seed in the Northeast Conference Tournament. They have a home game no matter what, maybe against this Monmouth team again, maybe against Quinnipiac for the third time. Central Connecticut State is still in play. A lot can happen. One more game left in the regular season for either side.
A key for St. Francis, the freshman forward Jalen Cannon. Another strong game tonight. 3 double-figure rebounding games in a row. He's peaking at the right time.
You know what? It was a Warriors effort for Jalen Cannon, too. Left the game for a brief moment in the second half. Thought he might be injured as well. Travis Nichols didn't play. Stefan Perunicic left early. And that's really what proved to be St. Francis's undoing tonight. But if Cannon can stay healthy and pick up the slack on the offensive glass the way he has all season, especially tonight, St. Francis should be a very tough customer for FDU on Saturday afternoon.
And the reason being the Terriers have rebounded the ball very well in spots this season, and they've cut down on the turnovers for the most part. A number of turnovers tonight, but overall, over the last couple of months, the turnovers have gone down.
Absolutely. St. Francis was averaging close to 20 turnovers on the season per game. They had 24 in the season opener against Seton Hall, and it's been like night and day as this team has taken off in the second half of the season. The better they have played, the better they have handled the ball as well.
And a player that I thought played well tonight, it was important for him to have a bounce-back game, Ben Mockford. If the Terriers want to have a deep run in the postseason, they'll need him to play well.
They will. Mockford had 16 to lead the team, but there's one other contributor that has been doing far better over his last few games, and that's Hakeem Johnson. 13 double-figure games in his last 15. He's averaged close to 17 points per game over his last 6 or 7. Team's leading scorer could be and should be an all-NEC selection, maybe on the second or third team.
Hakeem Johnson, the key with him being able to finish the season strong, and from wire to wire this year, he's done a great job.
Yes, there were times toward the end of the season where he slacked off last year, but that's experience and maturity coming into play for you. Johnson's a junior. He'll have one more year to really do some further damage here in Brooklyn. He just gets better every night, and that's really all you can hope for.
As the Terriers approach the tournament, of course, Saturday's game, the regular season finale, what are the keys that you see for a successful St. Francis College run?
Fairleigh Dickinson's going to be a trap game, no question about it. They have nothing to lose. They've only won one conference game all season. They lost again tonight against LIU Brooklyn after giving them a fight in the first half. FDU actually led St. Francis at halftime the first time these two schools met on January 14th. St. Francis just has to do all the little things right. They need to avoid foul trouble. Down the stretch, there was a problem with Brent Jones fouling out. Matt Milk had 3 fouls early in the second half. Also, when St. Francis shoots 33% or better from three-point range, they're 12-3. When they don't, they're 3-10. So they need to get going on the outside, hit some shots beyond the arc. The better they are from long range, the better off they'll be in the long run.
And we've spoken about this on several broadcasts. This team picked to finish 11th in the preseason poll, but Glenn Breica, with the way this team has played, he has to be considered for a candidate for the Northeast Conference Coach of the Year.
Yeah, you can't say enough about what Glenn Breica has done. It's usually the coach that does the most with what's perceived to be the least that is the front runner for the award, and that fits Glenn this year with St. Francis. The only real contention he'll get is from Dan Hurley at Wagner. Hurley has the Seahawks at 24-4. Wagner is going to be a postseason team, no doubt about it. They're bringing back 4 starters next year, too. So what originally was one of the hardest jobs in the Northeast Conference has now become one of the bigger and greater success stories of the past couple of years, and it's going to continue in Staten Island. But there's one on the other side of the Verrazano Bridge just getting started in Brooklyn.
Well, we do know this. The Terriers were picked to finish second to last in the preseason poll, which they're often more reactive than predicted. The Terriers lost their 2 top players from last season, but everybody on that bench from Glenn Breica on down knew this team had the potential to be in this position right now. And overall, you put a game like this in perspective, the Terriers headed to the Northeast Conference Tournament with a home game which begins next Thursday night, March 1st. For Jaden Daly, I'm Seth Cantor saying good evening from West Long Branch, New Jersey.